when we talk about food and health, it's all on what we eat. We forget about why we eat, we forget about how we eat, we forget about when we eat, and we forget about where we eat. All of those 4 other factors are just as important. Yeah, just as important as what we eat, but we just don't give them enough attention. Well, I don't know if you've heard of the French paradox, but I've always loved it. It was this idea that people in France could have apparently all these so-called unhealthy foods, right? You know, at lunch, a glass of red wine, a steak, a nice bit of full-fat cheese. Yet when they looked at the data, they didn't seem to suffer from the same health problems that, let's say, us in the UK would suffer from if we had the same foods. And there's all kinds of theories as to what's going on. You know, is it the fact that they're eating real food, whole foods? There's all kinds of things out there, but I've got to be honest. What I think it is, more than anything, it's not what they're eating, it's how they're eating. So it is well known in French culture, meal times are sacrosanct. You stop. You know, if you're in an office, the laptop goes down, the pen goes down, and you go and you sit somewhere, usually in company, and you will enjoy your meal, right? It's really, really interesting. I did an interview with a French journalist about a year ago when the 4-pillar plan was coming out in France. And at the end of the interview, I asked them, I said, hey, can I just ask you a question? I'm really interested. Does French culture still have that now, today, in the 21st century? And she said to me, yeah, absolutely. It's just part of what we do. She said the only place she's seen it's changed is in some of the international offices in Paris. She said because we've got people from all over the world, and that culture of sort of busyness, of working at your desk, getting stuff done, is starting to infiltrate in. And I think that's, yeah, that kind of says a lot. It's you know, a little bit sad that that's happening, but why should this make a difference? Well, there's a certain mode in which we're designed to eat, right? We're not designed to eat when we're stressed out. So if, you know, if you think about our stress response, it evolved, you know, let's say 1 million, 2 million years ago. We're in our hunter-gatherer tribes. We're trying to, you know, we're trying to get on with our business, and a wild predator like a lion is approaching, right? In an instant, our stress response kicks into gear to keep us safe, right? Blood sugar goes up so we can run faster. Blood pressure goes up to get more oxygen in our brain, etc., etc. But your body does something else. It switches off your digestion. Because if you need to run away from a wild predator, you don't need to be able to calmly and efficiently digest and process your food. So your body's clever, it switches it off. The problem today is that our stress responses are being activated not by predators, but by our daily lives. So it's our email inboxes, it's our to-do lists, it's our social media channels, right? So if you are eating your healthy whole food lunch at your desk whilst also, you know, with the laptop on trying to answer emails, and again, I'm not looking down at you. I will do that sometimes, even though I know it's not the best thing to do. It's going to have a different impact. You know, your body's going to deal with it in a different way. And so the way we eat, how we eat, absolutely matters. And for some of my patients who want to improve their health, they want to lose some of their excess weight, actually how they eat is the first place they should start. You know, having a bit of a ritual between work time and meal time. You know, I say, you know, an athlete doesn't just rock up to the start line. They have a process to get themselves in the right state of mind so that their body and their mind can have peak performance. Well, I say to some of my patients, I want to help you have peak performance for eating, right? It only needs to take a few minutes. It could be simple things like putting the laptop down, doing 1 minute of 3-4-5 breathing, saying 1 line of gratitude, little things that were in our own culture just 20, 30 years ago, little things that are actually still in French culture today. These things make a big difference. And if you focus on how you eat, you actually find something interesting happens. You often end up eating less. You're satisfied with less because you're being attentive. You're allowing these signals to register. You're allowing the hunger signal to register, the fullness signal to register. You're really feeling nourished at the end of that meal, whereas you could have the same meal, let's say the same healthy whole food meal, and be trying to sort of edit your latest video or get your emails done. And before you know it, you've finished what's on your plate. That's assuming you even had a plate in the first place. And you don't quite know what's happened. Your mind hasn't registered that you've eaten it. Your stomach, in some ways, hasn't registered. And then you wonder why you're snacking all afternoon. Right? So once you understand this, you can go, well, maybe for me, how I eat is the most important thing, or the thing that I want to address at the moment. So it's about really giving people that understanding that, this is the problem. When we talk about food and health, it's all on what we eat. We forget about why we eat, we forget about how we eat, we forget about when we eat, and we forget about where we eat. All of those 4 other factors are just as important. Yeah, just as important as what we eat, but we just don't give them enough attention. If you enjoyed that clip, here's another powerful clip that I think you are really going to enjoy. You can lose weight, but you can do it in a way that focuses on health, that promotes health, well-being, self-esteem, confidence. Doesn't make you feel like a failure, doesn't make you feel as though you have to deprive yourself and punish yourself.